Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, first and foremost. In culture, I am the only person who can introduce the king. Today, I have the honor to introduce to you His Royal Highness William Wilberforce Nadiope. We can add Bwamichi the fourth. It is from him that we derive our power. Our forefathers found it fit not to allow His Majesty to manage the non-royals. It is my responsibility to manage all non-royals in this kingdom on his behalf and do all the clean work that makes his reign a success. Your Majesty, let me take this opportunity to thank you for giving me the opportunity of becoming the 8th Prime Minister of this kingdom. And I am so proud to be here. The other day I was being accused, Your Majesty. I was on TV and I was asked, between NPA and Busoga, what would you choose? And I chose Busoga. Because in NPA I am a servant. In Busoga I have been given power to almost be next to royal. So we want to thank you, sir, for giving us these offices. I want today to introduce to you our guests. They have all been introduced. I have the list, the full list, which I'm going to hand over to you, sir. I just simply want to say 3 or 4 things. 1, that all power of the kingdom belongs to the king. What we all do, he is the only legal position of the kingdom. What we do as the administrators of the kingdom is by power of attorney from the king. So every time we deal with you, be mindful of the fact that the power we represent is not ours, it is the power of His Majesty, the King. And it is a pleasure that this time you're interacting with the King, from whom we derive our authority. It is very critical legally. They don't sue me, they sue the King. Even when I'm appearing in court, I have to get powers of attorney from him to speak on his behalf. So I needed this to be very clear. As we go into this relationship, we need to understand it very well. The power of the king in this kingdom is a power of convening. I don't think anybody else in this country has powers the king has to convene anybody in this kingdom. That I can assure you. We've taken time to build this power, and we think it is time for our partners to use this power to achieve development goals of this country. The power that the king yields is a power of emotions. It's now our responsibility to direct those emotions to development. When the king speaks to us, he doesn't request, he orders. And when the king orders, you must oblige. That is in our culture. If he appointed me prime minister and I rejected, I don't think I will stay in this kingdom. My family name will go. That's how powerful this position that you are meeting today is. And knowing that you are in development, I can assure you that you are in the right place to affect the hearts and the minds of the people of Busoga. Context. A lot of our development work is not working because we miss the context. In Busoga, we don't welcome people from outside criticizing us. But he has the power to criticize us, and we will keep quiet. I can tell you that every time I go to functions, I am the only person who speaks when everybody is quiet, because I'm carrying the power of the king. So we want to welcome you. We want to wish you all the best. We want to tell you that this kingdom is here to work with you. And the king has directed me to inform you that he has formed the Kyabazinga initiative. And that Kyabazinga initiative is his initiative. He will be fully in charge to dispense of any projects, any strategic interventions for the good of the people of Busoga. Kyabazinga, let me report to you. Just last week, I decided to drive myself, and it is not very welcome in Busoga to see me driving. But I thought I should drive myself and see. And I went to one of the rural areas, and that is Kagumba, after Balawoli, towards Namasagari. And this is what I saw, that we have done so well, but early pregnancy is still eluding us. While we were growing up, at 6 o'clock we would be moving back home. But I drove at 7 and 8 and found that young children were now coming into the center, commercial centers. And each of them were in pairs, not with the fellow girls, but with another opposite sex. So I decided, Your Highness, to go to the maternity home to just cross-check what is happening with the mothers who are pregnant. And of the 400, 40 were below 16. And of the 40, 10% had HIV. So, Your Majesty, this report is to you. You have all the power. You can mobilize the churches. You can mobilize the mosques. You can mobilize your homes. You can mobilize the clans for us to achieve that potential from the young girls that we need. I want to welcome you. Feel free. I will not speak again. I have already told you about the initiative. Anything we do, we will do through the initiative. The King himself is here. And now I'm going to hand over to you, our guests, to speak to the King. And it will be interactive. And from this day on, I will be the MC. I thank you. Coffee. That's what it means. Coffee is no longer just a plant in Uganda. It's a culture plant. We use it when you eat coffee and you take water, even if it's an introduction, you would have been born in that family. Thank you very much.
Ngabo oli kubona ebiri jja maiso tukali mu lubiri egenge era nga baba asimye yagenebwazaako abageni okuva mu kitongole kya UNAIDS. Katukiro mu kwogera kwe mu ebyo byabaye ali kwogera abooluganda yatotaaga ogemagana kale yakoba nti ng'akabonero oba akalombolombo oba akamaniso ak'oluganda era n'okwisanya baleese emwani twasobola okuba nga tulya ku mwani era tunwani ku lwendo lw'amaadi kubanga Katukiro mu kwogera kwategeezezza nti effe eno mu byobuwangwa byaffe omuntu bw'edda n'akukyalira oba n'agenewala nairayo ng'azira kyaliire emikisa giri ku kikumi nti ayinza obutayira. Kale baba yasiima yagabula ku abageni abakyayire mu lubiri abayidde embuga yabagabula ku olwendo lw'amaadi awalala n'emwani abasoga bali ku Baba TV mu kidde nti ako kamaniso oba kabonero akalaga obwase Luganda era n'okukolera agalala. So abantu bano nga bwe baidye okuba nti baidye okukolera agalala n'obwa Kyabazinga obwa Busoga. Kale n'ekyo ky'oli kubona ejja mu maiso nga abantu balya ku mwani era buli omu aliire ku emwani eyo ng'akabonero akalaga nti tuyikirizaganya nnyo okukolera agalala.